dressing room. Let's talk to Cam Atkinson. He had one of the goals here today. Cam, how did it feel to get that first preseason action under your belt?
Yeah, it's good. Legs are a little heavy, but it's always nice to get the first one out of the way and, of course, win.
You're playing with Pierre-Luc Dubois. You're very accustomed to that. Alexandre Texier has been skating with you guys during the camp so far. He's out there again with you today. How's it fitting in on that line?
I think it's good. I think, like I said, it's good to get the first one out of the way, kind of feel our out process. I thought we did some okay things, and, I thought obviously things that we need to work on, but that's with practice and stuff like that. So it was good to get a win and play with those guys.
Those guys did some work on the wall that set you up for the goal that you got here today. Kind of find yourself all alone out there, didn't you?
Yeah, those are always nice, but at the same time, those are the scariest ones just because you have so much time. But nice move, kind of made a bite and just sniped one.
You're talking about the heavy legs, and when you're playing a team like that, they're minus a lot of their superstars, but a lot of guys that were out there working hard today, weren't they?
Yeah, that's how it is in these games. You got a lot of guys trying to prove themselves on both teams, so that they're always the toughest ones to play. But I thought it was, for the most part, it was good. Good test, and good to get the first one out of the way.
Thanks. Cam Atkinson had one of the goals for the Blue Jackets today in the 3-1 victory that they get. Eric Robinson had a goal as well. Let's listen in on him.
And then people get lazy and they say Rob.
So just how nice was it just to kind of see the puck go in the net off your stick?
Yeah. Almost felt like it was never going to happen. Obviously it's preseason, but yeah, just to get one for your confidence is great.
Yeah, I mean, you it's not like you had never generated scoring chances. You had plenty. You kind of see one go in and kind of feel good about it, right?
Yeah, I felt like I was a bit snake bitten there when I was up last year. Just couldn't seem to find the back of the net. So, yeah, like you said, to get it, just to get the visual of it going in feels good.
What kind of attitude did you bring into this camp? What kind of approach are you taking this year?
I think I'm just coming to show that I'm ready to work every day. I try not to read too much into things, but come and show them that I'm learning to be a professional. I'm learning to show them I know what it takes, and then just give them my best every day.
Is this kind of a harder camp to do that, and maybe other ones because of what happened in the off season? There may be spots open, that kind of thing, to not look at what's going on, how the math is stacking up.
I guess you're always trying to read into things, but it's something that I don't personally think helps. I think it can sway my focus, and I'm just trying to be focused on being here, being in the moment, getting better every day.
Do you feel like you're kind of on the cusp of becoming what you want to be, an NHL player?
I think I'm learning every day. Getting to watch these guys in camp, and obviously last year I'm still learning and taking in as much as I can, and I think I am getting better each day, and yeah, I think I am building up to eventually the full package that I know I can bring.
Eric, did it feel good to get back in a game, because it had been quite some time for you? When you were here at the end last year, you were just practicing and not playing a lot.
Yeah, it felt really good. You don't really get that feeling in practice or even scrimmages in the summer or whatever. So yeah, it felt really good to get back.
You're out there playing with Justin Scott and Cole Sherwood today, and just Cole, with some of the hits that he laid out there, how much room did that open up for you guys?
Yeah, he creates a lot of space. Fast player. Obviously, he played physical like he usually does. We had a few games last year in the American League together, so I think we had some chemistry. So it worked out pretty good.
Brad, what's that first line look? I know things can change and often do, but you're putting Texier in a pretty big spot there. What does he look like to you in that spot, and what does his game do for the other two guys potentially on that line?
Yeah, Tex, he had a real good camp there in Traverse City in those games we saw. We got a good look at him last year in playoffs, and he came in a pretty tough situation playing against probably the top two teams in the league. So because we saw him last year, because of what he's done here, I think he's earned that opportunity to take a look on that top line. And again, things can change fast. He's a really highly competitive kid. He's got a lot of skill. He can shoot the puck. He snaps the puck on his pass as hard as anybody on our team. So there's a lot of great intangibles. He's a young man, so we'll see how it works out, and things can change in a hurry. But from what we've seen early on, I think he's earned that opportunity to take a look.
And you know what his skill set is. Can you just describe how he might look different than Panarin did there? No one's quite like Panarin, I know, but just what what he
You want
was.
me to compare him to Panarin?
Well, just how he plays the game versus how Panarin did, and what that might look like with the other two guys.
I mean, Brad's a top 1% player. We all know what he brought to this team, but Tex he's a 200-foot player. When you watch him play, he tracks the puck hard. He's more aggressive for sure as far as physical. Really heavy on his stick. Now Brad was the same as far as his ability to be strong on pucks. Brad's a little bit more seasoned. He's a little bit older, obviously, but tough to compare the two. But just you're looking for a guy who's competitive, who can skate, who can make plays, who thinks the game well. One thing about him, he's a really smart player. I did video work with him last year during playoffs. You give him something, he applies it. In the next game, you can see that he's consciously thinking and trying to process it, and then he applies it. So those are things as a coach right away. You earn trust when you take information, especially in that situation last year, and you can apply it that next game. I think it says something. I mean, he was very well coached. He somewhere along the line, or bloodlines, I'm not sure, but he's a very smart player that goes with the package of his skill set.
Brad, this is something we've been talking to the player about, and also Torts as well, but Pierre-Luc is really taking on more of a transition ownership role, carrying the puck on his stick. What does that ask of him that's maybe different than has been asked of him in the past, and how do you see him performing early so far?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's his first game, right? So you're knocking a lot of the rust off here. You haven't played for a long time, and new line mate with Tex, him and Cam familiar with each other. But I think Luke, since year one, we've preached move your feet. I think early on in his first year, he would get stuck a lot, and he's so big and he moves well. Like any player who stands still, they don't really get a lot accomplished. And with Luke, he's an excellent passer when he's on the move. So coupled with now he's maturing into his body, even though he's still a young man. He's physically, he's getting bigger, he's stronger. You can see it. He's starting to turn into a man, and you can see anytime he creates separation, all of a sudden now his skill takes over, and I think he's an underrated passer. I think through traffic, I think he does an excellent job, but with his size and strength and his feet, couple that together, once he gets moving, he becomes really dangerous.
Brad, this is a league that has become, over the last 5-10 years, obviously younger, faster, and to a certain extent smaller. Smaller players can play. That said, when you have guys like Sherwood and you have guys like Robinson who can really skate and they're big as well, what kind of advantage does that give you guys? Josh Anderson as well, Dubois. Those guys can all skate and they're big. How much of an advantage is that to kind of have guys that can do it all and have the size?
Well, it's whether it's a young man's league or not, I think we all know that due to a lot of different variables, and probably the biggest one is the salary cap, just because of you kind of have to rush some of these young guys, whereas before you could wait. The size and speed coupled together is huge. I mean, in the perfect world, you got everybody who's 6'3" and can skate like the wind and has, a Panarin skill set or a Cam Atkinson skill set, however you wanted to do that. You want guys that are big and strong and can skate. You look at St. Louis, they're not a small team. I think that the league has opened the door to smaller players, but I don't know how many teams are built small. Especially on the D side. There's opportunity for smaller players like the Krugs of the world and those guys, but you can't have 5 small guys, because you do have the guys that are 6'3" and can skate and move, and you go through any lineup and you're going to see that. But ideally you have big guys that can skate, but there's so many other aspects and intangibles that go into it as far as processing your hockey IQ, all that. You got to couple that together. Size and speed are great, but you got to think the game and still be able to execute.
Have you liked what you've seen from Sherwood and Robinson in this game?
Yeah, I think it's like anything. You love some stuff you'd want more. It's a tough camp too. This isn't a camp where you're going to come in and feel fresh every day. So you're going to have to play probably tired, and show what you can do. And that's just how this camp is built. We're trying to build a foundation of speed and conditioning, and if you're in good shape, you can withstand a lot of that. And I think from all of them, we've liked some stuff you wish you could see a little bit more.
Korpisalo looked really to be on his game today from a coach's perspective. What are you seeing from him in net?
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, the first one, I think it got tipped. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, especially third, he made some big saves. He looks good. He's another guy. He's come in ready. I think he's in shape. I think he's excited. There's this is for a goaltender. This is huge opportunity. So, he played some time there. I think half a game the first time. Looked really good. Didn't let a goal in tonight. I thought he looked really solid. One deflected puck from long range, that happens, and I thought he settled in very nicely.
Brad, as a guy that coaches the power play, how excited are you to have the infusion of youth? Bemstrom looks like a guy that knows his way around a power play. Texier as well. How different might that look, and how excited are you about it? That's the mixes you can make.
Yeah, yesterday, I mean, we ran a lot of different looks. We have, with some guys exiting, that allows new guys opportunity. So really there's a lot of questions, and you had Nyquist and you had some young guys, and you had, so yesterday if you were trying to figure out who was on the power play, you would have been thoroughly confused, I'm sure. But I think that's what we need to do. I think the players now have input, and we've tried them on different sides, strong sides, so we're starting to get into that. I think now we're going to get a better idea from a coach's perspective who may fit in where. Could be a blend of young and old. It could be veteran guys. Again, we're just going to have to wait and see here. So it's exciting. I mean, you see a shot with like Bemstrom, that's a special shot. He can get it off. He gets it off quick, and it's hard. And the most impressive thing, I think, is he gets it on net. In the short time I've seen it, not a lot is going wide. So it's great if you got a big shot, but if you never hit the net, he's got pretty good range, and he's dialed in on where the puck wants to go.
Would it be fair to say that the power play has been sort of taken all the way apart and is being rebuilt again?
Well,
or is that too drastic?
There's a lot of familiar pieces. As we know, we didn't, not everybody's gone, but there were some mainstay guys, and then, with Dutchie coming in, he was on that one unit. So there's opportunity, and guys are excited. But yeah, everything's open right now as far as there's nobody that's set in stone on where they're going to be and what unit they're going to be on. We're going to have to just kind of wait and see who's got chemistry and how this plays out.
Jody, again, some guys getting their first action of the preseason look good today. Some guys have played a couple of games here, and everybody looked pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, I thought there was, you're waiting for Atkinson, Dubois, and Texier to dial it up, and when they did, they took over their shifts. It was good to see them get a goal there. I love the excitement. I like the penalty kill. Lots of good tenacity on the penalty kill. Korpisalo did a good job. It's all about individual moments, and I thought Korpisalo had moments to do things. Sherwood did some stuff on that line with Justin Scott and Robinson. Just speed and size. So, some guys played as delivered, and then you've got Savard and Harrington just doing things that we all take for granted, and Murray, good passes, good plays in front of the net. So I thought the veterans, Boone Jenner, Nick Foligno, and Josh Anderson too, that's a line that's going to be counted on, and when they get put together, if they start the season that way, they're big, they're intimidating, they can set the tone. They usually start the game when it's a big moment at home, and you need that momentum. So a lot of good things for these guys, especially the veteran guys, to get in. This is a good point at training camp, because now with 4 games left, there's probably going to be a younger lineup tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I would assume. And then later in the week, you're going to see this team get together, and that's the most important part. Get this team together, roll, see who's going to make opening night, and have some fun.